When I was younger, during the Nintendo 64 years, I absolutely loved the Mario spin-off titles. Mario Party, Mario Tennis, Mario Kart, and of course, Mario Golf. Though while I enjoyed these titles, I never really followed through with these franchises, the sole exception being Mario Party. But during the Switch days, I've finally gotten back to this wonderful spin-off brand, if you will. Super Mario Party was such a good return to formula, which is why I'm pretty hyped for Mario Party Superstars, which is soon releasing. Mario Tennis Aces that added a weirdly deep story mode and made the mechanics so intricate that playing it was just sheer joy, reminding me of a fighting game, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which, to be fair, was originally on the Wii U, the greatest Nintendo console of all time. So it was to be expected that the golf game was getting a chance on this portable system, and yes, it's pretty good, with some weird negatives. So let's just start with a review of Mario Golf Super Rush. So first things first, this game, very much like the tennis game, has a story mode. This isn't that surprising, as both of these were made by the same developers, Camelot Software Planning. So knowing that explains quite a bit, as this game has a lot of similar things from their older sport adventure. I would personally say that this mode is here for one thing: tutorial. And a rather important one at that. Before jumping into this experience, I went and had a few regular golf matches just to get a feel of the game, and after playing the tutorial, there is just so much stuff that I quite frankly would not have learned unless I took my time with the single player area. The story itself is super simple, which I have to admit is pretty good, and the writing starts off great. Hell, it even made me laugh out loudly a few times. Come on, left bicep, why can't you be more like right bicep? Let's leave charging Chuck alone with his biceps, shall we? That being said, very much like the Mario Tennis says it gets super repetitive, to the point where I feel like they probably shouldn't have hidden the tutorial in this mode. Again, I had a lot of fun here, but when I played this mode for a few hours and then it decided on telling me how to change the shooting styles with a button, a regular shot to a lob shot, I had to scratch my head a bit. Sure, you could probably figure all of this out by your own after playing a few matches, but to be fair, many people would probably not expect a Mario Golf game to have a lot of mechanics hidden everywhere, where it'd be a small icon popping up when choosing a club or using gyro controls to check the elevation of the ground. I digress. The story is simple and has some fun writing in it, but it gets repetitive and very gimmicky at the end. Gimmicks that you will not meet when you're heading to the online, thankfully. Having a hydration meter during the desert place was just weird, as the game allows you to buy clothes or different clubs for your me that pretty much negates all of these oddities. Still, to make it clear as possible, I had fun going through it. It even had a few bosses to go against. So, what about the primary gameplay modes? Well, it is all golf, of course, but the rule set is quite different between all of them. Standard golf is exactly what you can expect. You and 3 others, or you can just do it alone, whatever you prefer, can go against one another to rack up the most, or least, when it comes to this sport, points. With the option on if you want to shoot by turn, or have them all go at the same time, which, trust me, makes the game go so much faster. You have speed golf, where the gimmick is pretty simple. Shoot the ball, rush after it with a special dash moves and a Mario Kart-esque mechanic where you can steal the speed of those in front of you to get the ball the quickest to the hole, while also keeping the amount of strokes in mind. Here you can change the rule set to if you want to give a handicap to those who do the poorest, etc. Battle golf, where you're put in an arena where the point is to get 3 points before the others, with no regard to the amount of times you're swinging the club, while watching out for the stage hazards, and that's it. Story mode, which when it's all said and done is just a long tutorial, standard, speed, and battle golf. Pretty bare bones, but at least you can play all of these, excluding the story, online with a lobby system that doesn't suck. Good job, Nintendo! And there are 6 courses, all of which have their own flair to differentiate them, aside from just the visuals, all upping in difficulty as well. Alright, let's jump right into the meat of things, the gameplay. As already mentioned, this game has a lot of depth to it, and most of it is out of the player's hands, like the wind that will change the trajectory of the flying ball mid-flight, or the very ground beneath you, depending on if it is flat terrain or not, which will change the trajectory at the moment it goes off-ground, as well as where it will roll when landing. This you have some power over, as you can shoot different ways depending on if you tap or double tap A for it to get some extra distance, or B to make it roll backwards or stop in its track. You can also use the D-pad or the stick during the power swing to force the ball to curve to the side or higher or lower in the air. And when you eventually get the star clubs by playing a character for a few matches, you can go ham in changing the ball's movements. The maps will also have some gimmicks to them. Rain and lightning, special rocks that will make the ball bounce as if it was a basketball, creatures that run around the course, etc. You also have the special shot.
It's time to jump up in the air. Jump up, don't be scared. Jump up and your cares will
And all of these have some special properties. Boost, Mischief Twister that haunts and screws up your opponent's ball trajectory. King Bombs put bombs away that spawns bombs on the field that will blast away all the others. Mario Superstar Strike that will create a blast on impact, sending all the other balls to random directions. And Abby's Jolin one that creates anger and hatred to the players.
Nice!
Obviously, this is very much like the special shots that was in Mario Tennis Aces, but here they're able to put a bit more personality to the very effects on the moves, rather than just giving them a nice-looking animation. All of the 16 playable characters also have different stats. So, the gameplay is pretty great in my opinion. A lot of things to keep in mind when playing through its mechanics, both in what you can and cannot control. Every course, with their 18 holes each, bring in a new way of strategizing. And as this game plays well with its online, as it is when it all comes down to it, golf, it creates an extremely fun gaming experience. That being said, this game is one of those weird Nintendo first-party games that's primary negative is the presentation. Yeah. At first glance, it looks pretty quality, right? The colors are popping, the character models look great, the music is distinct and upbeat, and the animations are top tier! All of this is first glance, because the closer you look at the visuals, you'll notice some real poor quality. The more you listen to the music, the quicker you want to turn it off, and the longer you play, you'll notice that there's a significant lack of personality in the animations. Let's go through all of this, shall we? So I really like the popping colors and the bloomish look of the game, but the moment you look at the shadows or some of the god-awful textures hiding around, it takes you out of it. Normally, it wouldn't, as I've always been good at just caring about the gameplay and such, and I love playing old games and stuff. You know, I can look past it, but the thing is, when you have nice-looking models, and then you get something like the ground texture in Bowser's Course, I have to mention it. The music has a melodic tune to it, meaning that it's easy to hum with. But the thing is, when you have played it for an extended amount of time, it just starts getting grating, and I love the soundtrack at the beginning. Fuck the music. I'm sorry that I keep mentioning it, but it's good. Okay, I need this soundtrack. I'm sorry. Every time I hear that do, I'm just like, yeah. I'm getting the soundtrack. Hell, my fave tune is in the poorly looking Bowser stage. Luckily, you can turn off the background music in the options. And then there's the animations. When the character selection animation is the same as the victory animation, which is the same as the birdie animation, you know you fucked up. Come on, these are Nintendo characters. Remember Mario Strikers? This is laughable. And someone on Twitter even noticed that Daisy is the only character that blinks. As in blinking with her eyelids. Again, what the hell? Yeah, this game, while I love playing it, has some negatives that I did not expect to see in a game like this. The single player is the exact same as the online stuff, aside from the story mode, which is something that you'll never touch after beating once. The modes, while few, are all fun in their own way, standard and speed being very replayable and fun, whereas Battle Golf seems a bit gimmicky for a long time play, but I might be wrong, who knows, it might be the most popular eventually, I don't know. The gameplay itself has a lot of depth to it, whether it be through the environments or button actions. Only thing I feel holds it a bit back is that I didn't understand anything until playing the roughly 5-hour-long story. And while it looks and sounds great at first, the longer you look, the longer you listen, it seemingly just gets worse and worse. I might have gotten a bit negative in the end there, but it is important to remember that when it all comes down to the gameplay, it is great. I might not be able to compare it to other golf games, as again, I've only touched the N64 version when it comes to this sport, but as a standalone game with its own mechanics, I can recommend it fully. And again, great online lobbies with fully functional online. Also, like Mario Tennis Aces, this game will get seemingly free DLC in form of characters and courses, so yeah, that's just a massive positive in my book. Unless it's just a sign that they didn't fully complete the game and they're just trying to patch it up. But who cares? Free DLC, am I right? Anyways, I have to hurry up and make my next big video, so until then, I'm KingJGrim, or the guy who wanted to throw himself out the window after seeing the views that the Jill video got. Whatever you prefer, and I'll see you guys next time!